All right, but let's see what kind of ceremonies we get today. But anyway, I'm seeing more and more people are starting to wake up. They're not calling it what we know it is, gang stalking, but they see these lunatics, the Democrat mayors, like the one in Seattle was, the white lady. All right, so like I said, you see why they don't want people to talk. I can tell you, I can tell you why they don't want people to say the truth. And you're watching. People are wondering what is this oppressive force, and why all of the cities that are burning are Democratic cities, and cities run by Democratic mayors. So if the force is so oppressive, and Trump is Republican, why are you Democratic mayors the ones whose cities are getting burned down? The cops in Democratic run cities for decades are the ones killing, you know, so-called black men. I say so-called because, like I said, these guys are doing shit. Especially that last one. Like I said, I see comments all the time when someone kills other people from being getting behind the wheel when they're drunk. And my point is they don't want people because what they do, they know what they're doing is total bullshit. They know they're just trying to take over. That's why, like, there's people pointing out how they were against the Second Amendment. Remember one of their biggest things was every time, oh, what about the school shooters, white boys shooting up schools? Every time people would bring up Chicago, we're like, but when were you in a school shooting? They usually shoot up other white kids, the kids that were bullying them. And a lot of us were like, again, that goes to the deserve. We're not saying they deserve, but it's like when you kept fucking with somebody, you keep fucking with them. Hey, that's what, we're like, yeah, we seen shootings too at school, but it wasn't called a school shooting. At one, they wasn't shooting at everybody, but other people got shot if you just were in the area of the person or persons they were shooting at. And the general innocent bystanders. That's what they wasn't aiming for them, but really they wasn't aiming. A lot of times they were just spraying in the direction of the person or the rival gang member they were shooting at. The party. They was all at a party, 15, 16, and they shot up the party. And they kept getting mad because they were like, we don't want to hear about that. Don't bring that up. Just bring up the white boys with guns. They're the biggest terrorists. Like, what are you talking about? They didn't. We've never been. I don't know anybody that was shot by a white boy. I know plenty of people that were shot by black boys. And some even shot by black women, but it was black on black, dog. Don't, that's a lie. What are you talking about? We seen it. A lot of us seen it with our own eyes. What are you talking about? I've never. And we're just like, well, why? What are y'all talk? What is this? And it was something like some kind of bullshit. And they literally they're with these communists and these globalists. And so that white lady, the mayor in Seattle, that crazy, like she's like, they see Trump doesn't understand what they're fight. What are they fighting against? You were the mayor, you did it. So what now? All of a sudden, it's the summer of love. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And you won't. They won't say that. They won't let you talk. You can't interview the guy who's in charge, Chaz or Raz, and not unless you just giving him a fluff piece where he is some kind of. Could they ask him, well, why do you carry a gun? Oh, well, I have 50 death. I just saw 50 death threats. Why do you have death threats? Did you have death threats before all of this started? 2 months ago, did you have death threats? So the point is, all of that crap for all these years about taking away Second Amendment rights. I'm predicting now. This is the only time I'm making a prediction. You know, I've never made a prediction that all of those rules they made, those Second Amendment, those gun restriction rules, might just go away. They're gonna vote out those people. They see what these anarchists done. They don't care about Second Amendment's right for They always wanted. They just didn't want you to have guns. Why? Because they knew they were doing something where they would piss the majority of people off. And they're not. And the reason none of the catalysts, George Floyd, uh, the other one at Wendy's. Like I said, some people they trying to ask more logical questions, like, well, couldn't they just have let him? Because if supposedly he asked that his sister lives like real close, he'll just leave the car and walk home. And again, any black, not any, but a lot of us black people know, and white people, trust me. I got a story. A guy I was working with last year, I think, or maybe at the beginning of this year. A white guy. And he was riding with me. We went to one of them jobs, and I guess yeah, exactly the type of town that they're talking about that don't have big police forces, but. It was one of them towns you don't like going to because it is small. But and when they do get behind you, it's not because you worried about killing you. They just they likely are for money. They pulling you up. Hey, you got a ticket, or if whatever you. But it doesn't happen. You just get it. I guess because of the brainwashing, even us, you feel uncomfortable in these small towns, but. And nothing never happened. And anyway, the white guy, he was saying he does live up there. But he said one time, look what it is. I told you they're doing some kind of ceremony. You saw he was doing some kind of thing. Let's see what this lunatic is about. He was doing some kind of thing. He was rubbing his head. He was doing some kind of invitation home. So why are you in the apartment complex? What do y'all do? Inside interior, who? Why would they hire someone else? Here they come. Yeah, guys like him, he's being oppressed against. Like how do you don't know that? I know. Trust me, he's one of them. So because that's why they would see after all their trouble they cause, they're trying to. You notice how now they're all of a sudden making it just like on CNN they're trying to make it for some reason. I don't know, maybe just for prosperity, but it's too many people showing the truth and telling the truth that you're not a peaceful, you're not just family guys trying to how did you get to where you're at right now then? If that's the case, if you such an oppressive force, you were worried about your little boys, how did you get this car? You didn't just get it in 2 weeks because of George Floyd. All of a sudden you got this car in this apartment. It took years, right? So how did that happen? They don't want you asking these questions. If you were so oppressed, shouldn't you just be on the, what I'm saying? Where did the money for all of this come from? If this oppressive force was on you. You know what I'm saying, bro? Where did this oppress? You didn't get all this in the last 4 weeks that y'all rose up. Y'all resisted. They got that resist T-shirt with the fist on it. Where did you get all this from? You can't have this nice Chevrolet. If you're a car person, they don't like really Chevrolet vehicles. But that's another story. That has nothing to do with oppression. But the point is, that car doesn't cost a little bit of money. It's at least 20. If he's used, it might be an older model, maybe a 14. Still, they not letting it go real cheap. And, they're trying to. That's what I'm saying. It's their generation. Remember, I kept saying, what type of man wants to make people mad? That's this whole thing is about. Oh, y'all are mad. Watch that interview with that white lady, Seattle mayor. She's being kind of smug, like, oh, you're just mad that they're not acting up. No, we saw them act up already, and they're trying to act like, well, they just happen to peacefully. You can't peacefully take over, and you pull. Basically, you punked out. And you're trying to play it off like, oh, they were just tired of what? Tired of who? Democrats? You were running the city. So what were they tired of? What were a bunch of white kids in Antifa tired of? What were the black kids tired of? They're tired that they can't get high and drive? Is that what they're tired of? The George Floyd, they're tired that they can't get high and pass counterfeit money? Is that what they're tired of? That guy who was supposedly jogging, Ahmad, first of all, his trip, he was 10 miles from his home. So he jogged 10 miles in Georgia. I used to be I was stationed in Columbus for a while you're at jump school. So I've run in Georgia. I've done PT in Georgia, at Fort Benning. It's hot down there. He had on cargo shorts. He's just jogging for 10 miles. Okay, he could have just been. He's jogging for 10 miles. So and that's one way. So that means he was on a 20-mile jog. Just stop to see at least with us black people, we're mad about is the lies you're telling, and we know what type of people you are. You're con artists. You're the type that you're unhonest. You see what I'm saying? You're like, what is that? Because y'all call it finesse, but basically you're con artists. They had the same as all kind white as for decades, centuries. To them, they think people deserve it. And that's, what I'm saying? Like, say you old person gets conned out of their money. They think the rest of us, we wouldn't do it. They think it's okay because they told the person, and they think it's okay because they lied to them and they believed it. They were looking for an easy way out. Oh, we know you got to live off your Social Security, but you give us $300, we can turn that into $1 million. Nobody would believe, but say it does work. And when they get caught, or even if we just find out about it, the rest of us, we find out you grifted, you conned or finesse old lady Johnson out of $300, and we gonna get on you. We gonna probably take it back from her. You could be like, well, y'all do other stuff. You sell drugs, da 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 da. Whatever. I'm just making a story, making a point. But the point is, but why? What makes what you do? Because you're lying. A drug dealer can't sell fake drugs. You only can do that once. They're not gonna come get you because they're crackheads, but they're gonna go to the other drug dealer who is selling real drugs and good dope. That's how it goes. It goes like that. You sell cars. If you're selling anything, whether it's legal, you can't sell bullshit. But y'all have this code where y'all don't care. They wanted it, so it's okay. Yeah, but first of all, why would you want to do that? Because it doesn't make financial sense because you only could do it once. Even if the person lets you do it, but once other people find out what you're doing, they're not going to let you do it. It's just some people have an aversion to doing shit like that. You just can't do it. You negotiate it. Do what hey, I'm gonna give you two 20 pieces for $30. Normally they go for 40. So you agreed to that. You agreed as the crackhead. You agreed. I agreed as the drug dealer. I'm gonna let you get these 20 pieces for $30. Cool. Just show up. Where these words talking about police? I'm just saying. That's how you do it. You build up customers. You can't be cheating and finessing people. Don't know that shit. It makes my skin crawl when y'all say that word, finesse, and it doesn't make me feel. Oh, I've been finesse. I don't get finesse. Like I said, if we agreed about something, and you don't hold up your end, you can't play it off and go, oh, you're just mad. No, it doesn't work like that's how I know you're not real. The boys, these little boys, they're not real thugs. They're fake. They're fake. They're scary. They're punks. They're cowards. That's what thieves do. You gotta sneak around at night. You're a fucking thug. That's what. Not even a thug. You're a thief. That's why you can't walk around with your head held up. At least if when a real motherfucking get caught, they know what they did. They can walk wide because they taking their punishment. They gonna go to prison or whatever. They know what they did. Yeah, I did it. I don't know anybody that went to prison that says they were set up by the cops. The only ones I know that went to prison that got snitched on, like I said, they got real snitched on, the real type of not how you tried to turn it into some kind of pop culture word, snitch, where everybody uses it. No, they really, because they went to federal prison for selling drugs, trafficking, real drugs, not even small amounts like fucking, $100 worth of cocaine. No, and that's why they only went for like 5 years. Because anybody with common sense knows that's why you don't touch small dope and be the little fucking dope boy on the corner selling rocks and nickels and dimes and shit. Because you don't go to state prison for 8 fucking years. So when they get snitched, dog, they know they live.